One of us has to be on site. I currently work in HR for a company that has been mistreating their employees and frequently talks down to them, speaking to them as if they're not smart enough to understand what she's saying and as though they're beneath her. It's only been about 6 months since I started here, and I noticed it pretty quickly. After I mentioned it to the most guilty manager, I began getting talked down to. At one time, after I called out sick, I got reprimanded, stating that I had to be on site whenever my manager was not. This was the first time it was being mentioned to me though. So I can't be sick if she's out. They couldn't find anything else to fuss at me about, so that was it. Over the past few months, I've built a relationship with the hourly employees, which are in a union. They tell me about whispers around the plant, future plans, who's thinking about quitting, family stuff, really just whatever they want to talk about. Recently I landed a great job which I start in a couple of weeks. I found out that my manager is going to be out of town the week before I'm supposed to start my new job. My plan was to work up until I start the new job, but then I was talked down to again by this same toxic manager. So I went into her office and told her that I know she isn't supposed to be at work on XYZ dates, but she would have to be since one of us has to be on site and I'll no longer work here then. Needless to say, she was pretty upset that she had to change her plans, and I've been getting the evil eye from her since I dropped my notice. I've been hearing her complaining to coworkers about how she had to cancel her trip. But she's been extremely nice to my face and hasn't talked down to me once. An HR representative that doesn't just cover the company's ass and cares about the employees. I don't know if I believe it. Should have given her the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, as your going away gift. Frequently talks down to them, speaking to them as if they're not smart enough to understand what she's saying and as though they're beneath her. So meta. I'm in the UK and I remember that in the 90s our company changed from having a personnel department to HR. Pretty quickly, it changed from an employee-focused support system to the one we all know and love today. Having said that, reading Reddit, I do honestly believe the US HR departments seem to be harder to deal with than what we get to experience here, which is probably due to our labor laws and the fact we generally embrace trade unions and staff associations. Surprised she just won't ignore those rules and go on the trip anyway. I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but where I'm from, a sick leave covered by a doctor's medical certificate is almost non-challengeable. The employer can and will be sanctioned by the relevant government ministry for making a sick staff come back to work, penalizing sick leave absence, or even merely questioning the consumption of sick leave. The only circumstance where an employer can legally challenge a certified sick leave is if the staff is caught red-handed doing something absolutely stupid, like going on holiday while on sick leave and then posting about it on Facebook. Why did you give notice at all? Under those circumstances? Did you sign a contract to that effect? Or is there a statutory notice period where you live? On the way out the door on your last day, I could have delayed my start day by a week, but I didn't want to do that for you. It would have been more fun to leave without notice on the Friday before her trip, but after she left. But I am just evil sometimes. I would have went above the head of HR and made sure that things were starting to improve. And if things didn't, I would make sure that everyone that was harassed or verbally abused would sue the company.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. bkfst is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.